Welcome to the third edition of this program, Beyond the Title, an episode where we look at the ministers of government, the new ministers of government, and get a deep dive into who they are and what they intend to bring to their ministries. Joining us for this third episode is the newly minted minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, the Honorable Stephen Jacobs. Minister Jacobs, thank you so much for joining us.
Mr. Gill, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be in the same room with you. You're a very jolly person.
Yeah.
And, we work good together.
I appreciate that. Let's start here. People may have an understanding of who Stephen Jacobs is because you have relatively been a public figure for quite some time in international cricket business. But tell us a little bit about who Stephen Jacobs is outside of what we may already know.
Stephen Jacobs is someone who puts God first, very big on family, very passionate about sports, and in particular athletes, especially their welfare, and basically wants to see Guyana develop and go to the next level. We have so much here in terms of talent, a unique culture, and I think we're at a unique position where we're seeing progress and prosperity and transformation, obviously under this government and under His Excellency. So it's just about being humble and just giving service. And I think that is foremost important too. Also.
You've transitioned from sports into business, and now you're into governance. What made you make this change, and how has it been so far?
Well, it's just been a couple of days that I'm now the minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. But you would know before that I was a city councillor.
Right.
And I did extensive work there in council in terms of adding that voice to policies, also speaking to a lot of persons on ground.
Right.
Around Georgetown. And you mentioned from being a sportsman, then a businessman, then now a minister. The transitions, while it is difficult, what remains fundamental is discipline. So discipline in business to wake up every morning and make sure that your business is functioning how it's supposed to be. And then discipline in the sense now of being a minister is to waking up every single morning and making sure you're giving a service to the people in whatever capacity. Because that is what it's about. Fundamentally, discipline. In the way how you carry yourself and making sure that every single citizen benefit, if it's from a sporting facility, if it's from a youth perspective in terms of empowering them, giving them opportunities through entrepreneurship, if it's culture, giving persons a platform so that they can, their talent can be seen, it's discipline. Yeah.
What is it that inspired that change in you to say, although I may be okay and relatively fine with a business, being a former sportsman, what is it about you that inspired that desire to want to get into governance?
So, I mentioned before about service. But then while being a counselor, I saw that I can be a part of the solution. Because many of times you will hear people critique the government and critique everything around. And people would say it's easy to talk from outside.
Correct.
But we get inside, understand the functions and the functioning and the complexities. So I decided to be a part of the solution. And hence I'm here sitting today. And what persons can expect of me is that I will give every single ounce of me to my portfolio, and every single ounce of me to the people of Guyana, so that we can be prosperous and so that we can have this continuity and what has transpired over the last 5 years.
Minister Jacobs, it would be remiss of me not to ask you this. I believe that there still exists some amount of a stereotype about how certain individuals in society should look in terms of their hairstyle and the way they present themselves, things of that nature. And we've happened to go to a particular school where at least I remember being told from some teachers that there is a particular way that you should have your hair and things of that nature. One would argue that you've broken that stereotype now, having the portfolio of a minister of government. Two things. One, what do you think this says about President Ali disregarding that type of stereotype that is attached to particular individuals? And what would you say to the young people who may have dreadlocks like you and rocking it just like you do and want to contribute meaningfully to society and have these stereotypes in their ears from time to time?
First of all, His Excellency sees nothing but the person and what they bring, their skill set, their personality, their ability to work, their ability to serve. So that's first and foremost. But coming up from my school days, I had a similar hairstyle, just like you. But I was fortunate enough when I went to St. Joseph High School that my headmistress was Miss Fong. I never had those issues. But this means a lot. You have an opportunity, you have a space to progress. And if I can be a representation of that, I welcome it. So for every single young person who might be seeing me, know that once you do the right things, you're humble, because that is first and foremost. You never try to, get above yourself. You remain humble, you remain grounded, no matter the position. There's an opportunity for you. There's an opportunity in education, and because education is free now, and you have a whole host of scholarships. So equip yourself, and there's a pathway for you. His Excellency has expressed this, and if you want to use me as an example, you're seeing it today.
Yeah. As we wrap up our conversation for today, Minister, let's look a little bit into the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. This has been a ministry with a huge portfolio over the last 5 years, completing several tasks, some of which are still undergoing. How do you intend to build on this foundation that has been laid over the past 5 years? And what new type of activities do you think that you will bring to the fore within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport?
Let me first and foremost congratulate the Honorable Charles Ramson Jr. on the extensive work that he's been doing. I had an overview of the entire ministry from different divisions. Through the Director of Youth, which is Suresh Singh, he does extensive work. October 6th, you'll see the launch of our entrepreneurship program, where we'll be training 125 persons in carpentry, masonry, and so forth. Then from the culture perspective, and Director of Culture, Ms. Tamika Boatswain, extensive work. There's even a registry now, where song engineers and so forth, you can go to that website and you can access those persons. And then everyone will know the Director of Sport in Stephen Val and what he does there. We saw an increase in medaling, up to about 500 medals. We have the IGG games will come up in December. I'm saying all of this to say that as a team, we have a structure and it's strong. While there have been a number of critics to this ministry, the work has been extensive, led by the Honorable Charles Ramson. And my intention also is to allow people to see this. They have to know what is happening because it's extensive work. But I would definitely bring an athlete's perspective and insight because it's very, very important that we think about our athletes' welfare during and after. In our manifesto promise, we had outlined a career pathway for athletes, may it be in coaching or training. So this is cricket, this is football, this is long tennis, this is squash. We want our former athletes to be integrated into a system that allows them to share their knowledge.
Yeah.
Because that is what we want. The end result in sports, it should be about getting to the podium, getting to Olympics, showcasing what Guyana brings, our unique culture and so forth. But I'm going to bring that insight, right? And we've had discussions already, and I'm going to try and bring that energy so that we can develop that perfect partnership. Myself and Honorable Charles Johnson. Over the last few days, we've been talking extensively about the direction of the ministry, how we developed a roadmap to achieve our manifesto promises. And Minister and I, we share a very good relationship. So we're going to work very, very hard together and make sure that we achieve everything that we set out, may it be in culture, may it be in youth development, or may it be in sport.
Mr. Jacobs, I want to thank you so much for spending the last few minutes with us, really taking a deep dive into who you are, but also what's going to be happening in the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport over the next few years. Any final comments from you before we wrap up?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Gail. What I just hope is that persons will understand while we're going through this transformation period, a lot of things will take time. And that is why we're going to work hard to make sure that whatever we promise is delivered. We're already on the ground. We're already putting things in place in regards to maintenance of our sporting facilities, community grounds, and so forth, so that we can make sure our athletes have the necessary space to develop their talent, and then also have that space to decide if that is the avenue they want to go. And then in culture, developing talent incubators, so we give people opportunity. You heard about the indoor stadium that will have a capacity of 15,000. So we give persons an opportunity, maybe in martial arts, just to have a concert. So we just want to give each and every Guyanese an opportunity. And that is the mandate His Excellency has given us. And we're going to work hard. We're going to work hard, and we're going to deliver.
Minister, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You've heard there from the Minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, the Honorable Stephen Jacobs, sharing with us all things happening in that ministry. Stay with us. We're going to continue to bring you these episodes of Beyond the Title in the coming days. My name is Shaquan Gill, and I'm saying goodbye for now.